Hi, welcome back to Conversations with Kayumozi. My name is Lisa Kayumozi Raboni. And for this week's feminist read, I would like to implore you to read Jennifer Makumbi Nansubuga's work, not because she's a very talented Ugandan author, but because also she's a great storyteller. She's got books out like Manchester Happened, Chintu, but for today, I really want to get into depth with a fast woman specifically. As soon as the book came out, I wanted a copy because as soon as Jennifer Nansubuga releases something, you want a copy of her work because she's an exceptional writer. She's those types of writers that whenever you send me her book in soft copy, I feel offended because now I'm stealing her intellectual labor and not actually paying for it. So I'm the type of people who will look for the 100K or the 99, whatever it is, whatever the price of her work is, I will look for it and make sure that I've paid to read. Other people, we can work around it. So for her book, The First Woman, I genuinely love how she explores different aspects of how the patriarchy controls women, of how the patriarchy turns women against each other, of how the patriarchy uses women. I like how she writes about the concept of kwelumia. And this is when one of the young girls in the book asks Nsuta, who's an older woman, about why do women fight against women? Why do women fight each other? Why don't they find a lot of joy in each other? And that's a conversation that I had during this week with the past 2 weeks. I've had quite an altercation with two women, and their situation is it's hard for women to be friends. And she just speaks about how the patriarchy puts two against two. If two poor people are going to fight because they do not see that the rich person is the actual problem, right? So instead of fighting, this is when we get situations when someone's man has been snatched and then you go and fight that she get a commitment was with the other person. Anyway, you'll understand each other. But I genuinely like that she brought that out. I like that she brought out inequalities. I like that she wrote about the woman in like the original form and how it is because of Christianity and missionaries and all of that brought in this inferior position and all of that we're experiencing right now. So I genuinely enjoyed that book and I would advise you to go read that. Today in specific, I really want to talk about something that I saw on Twitter, as usual, where I live. So the new president, Dr. Suluhu of Tanzania, was elected and she's placed into power. And one of our very ignorant journalists in Uganda posted a tweet and he said, now that she has been elected, she has the first proof to us that she's capable to run a country just like a man would. And I also thought there was a conversation that I overheard earlier this morning where they said, oh, why are there two women? Apparently two women are running for the post of speaker in Uganda, for speaker and then vice. And the question is, how can two women be seated in that position? And my thought process was, are we looking for qualifications or like what's is it because they are women that you think they're incapable? Is that a conversation that we need to continue to have? Really? And that also brought about the expectations, the unrealistic expectations of women in leadership. There's some kind of superhuman capabilities that people think women have, which I do not think are true, because women should be allowed to fail just like men are allowed to fail. There's leaders in Africa that I would think twice about, but just because they're men, inherently we think they could run a country. There's no room to fail, and then there's the need for women to work 10 times harder to prove themselves for certain positions. And what I would say is, can we learn the radical notion that women are human beings? And because women are human beings, they're capable of one, exceeding or failing. And that should be okay. That does not take away from their position. Just because Lisa failed or something doesn't mean Sharon can't possibly do it. Now we have decided to stereotype completely that she's unable to do it because the other woman that we put into power last time, then how can we continue to elect men who have continuously failed us time over time? They have nothing to prove. Literally, that ignorant journalist asking for such an unreal, like it was not in his place, and he has nothing to prove. For her to have been where she is, I'm expecting that she has worked for her position. And for this man to feel like just because he has a thought or two, he can express his opinion. Father God, there's some of you that I would bomb in 2 seconds, but I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing peace. Thank you so much for watching Conversations with Kanyomozi. Don't forget to give women the grace throughout the week. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.